More Air Conditioning presents Westside Warrior Football on Tubetown. Sponsored in part by Denver's Refrigeration, Max Garage, Ace Sports, and First National Bank.
Of Westside High School on this frosty Friday evening. Thanks for joining us on Tubetown for this 4A3 conference matchup. The Westside Warriors welcome the Truman Wildcats into town. Craig, going to be a fun night for football, going to be a chilly night for football.
Last time you and I called a game here, beginning of the season, we were swatting mosquitoes. Now we're bundled up. We have our hands in our pockets, trying to stay warm up here in the visitors' press box. But, hey, this is football weather, man. This is what it's all about tonight. Should be a pretty good game. Truman down from where they've been in recent years, losing record this year. And once again, people have just been so surprised by Westside's resurgence the last couple of years. And they're treating this like a playoff game, sitting at 6-2, 4-1 in conference plays, and here they come, taking the field. Good-looking Steadicam shot for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to our man Chase Weeks down there on the Steadicam. He's going to be bringing you some awesome shots from field level all night long. So the Warriors out on the field, the Wildcats bust through, and they make their way out. And again, big playoff ramifications with tonight's game, with the conference standings being what they are. You just kind of hit on it just briefly there.
Well, you've got Gosnell in first place here in the 4A3 at undefeated so far this year in conference play. You got Westside right behind them at 4-1 in conference play, and these two meet next week. So everything is on the table. Tonight and next Friday night, this conference race will be set up. And the talk here out in Craighead County, keeping an eye on these Westside Warriors. If they can pick up a win tonight or next week, they're going to get to host a playoff game at home for the first time, I think, in school history.
Well, and we're going to keep an eye on another game in Northeast Arkansas as Pocahontas is taking on Gosnell tonight. So you just hit on it. The Pirates will be here next week. So we're going to be paying attention to that game as well, because the outcome of it could be interesting as far as the playoff situation goes.
Really good.
The Wildcats will receive tonight's opening kick, and the Warriors all lined up, ready to kick things away. Again, a brisk Friday evening, and we thank you for joining us here on Tubetown. Short onside kick, bounced off a Wildcat. Scrum for the ball. I think Truman's going to come up with it, but heady play there by the special teams unit from Westside to start tonight's game.
Well, you had to wonder. The kicker was set up 1.5 steps or so back on that kick. He was not lined up to drive that ball deep. And I was wondering at first if he even got it to 10 yards, but he did. It went about 12 or 13 yards, bounced off the Truman Wildcat player, and luckily heads-up play by the rest of the team, following that ball, not giving the onside kick to the home team right off the bat.
So the Wildcats with excellent field position here to start tonight's football game. And we will get to take our first look at them this year. They're coming in off of a loss against the Redskins, Pocahontas defeating them last week. And they're going to stop things before they really get started here. Quarterback Connor McLean turned to hand it off, and referee's already stopping that one.
Offsides on Westside on that one. 1st and 5 for the Wildcats. Not only to get the onside kick to start it off in good field position, they picked up a free 5 to get things started. Start off 1st and 5.
The lone wide receiver, Dedrick Coleman, out here at the west side 44-yard line. 1st and 5 after the offside by the Warriors. There's the snap. McLean hands it off to the fullback. He'll rumble forward and get stopped by the defensive front from Westside. That was Noah Milligan on the carry.
1 yard they gave him. A generous 1 yard on that play right there. You see Truman has changed over the last few years. A few years ago, this team used to be kind of a wide open, throw that ball, let it rip kind of offense. Now you see him packed in there tight. You see the wide receiver out here doesn't even go to the huddle, telling you unless they're giving some sort of signals, hand signals, he's not really part of this.
There's a handoff running to the right side. A big hole to run through. This one's going to go to the house, barring any penalties, and the Wildcats 3 plays in. And
But you
that's
said barring any
Guy.
penalties, there is a flag, and I believe we have a signal of holding. Yes, it's coming back. There's a flag down there at the 38-yard line. Referee signals holding against the Wildcats, and that one is coming back. The 41-yard run for a touchdown. Wipe it off the board, thanks to the penalty. And they're marking that one downfield, which is interesting. It wasn't on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's Gavin Guy on that touchdown run that's now called back. Take a look there.
Yeah, it was right there. Yeah, you saw I think it might have been that wide receiver out there holding on to that cornerback, not letting him get part of that play. So good call right there. Pick that up. And like I said, that was a few yards downfield. You don't see that a lot on a play like that, especially a quick hitter coming right off the line. He broke free right away, but holding. Bring it back.
So now 2nd and 9, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Fake the run to the right. They'll run it to the left. And this time it's Ben Woodruff. So 3 run plays, 3 different tailbacks for the Wildcats to open up the football game. Ought to tell you how their offense operates.
So it's been an interesting start. Like you said, 3 runs, a touchdown called back, a 1st and 5, an onside kick. Every time you and I are here at this game together, we always start off with something interesting. We had some wild kicks in the beginning of the year. So here we are. What can happen next? Anything can happen here on Tubetown.
Only a minute and a half gone by here in the early goings. Looks like the Wildcats got a head start there, but no call by the referee. The tailback stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up 2 as he fell forward. That was Gavin Guy on the carry. 4th down coming up. Truman looks like they're keeping their offense out on the field.
Well, you mentioned it looked like a quick jump there on the right side of the line. The last couple plays, it's looked like that has happened. We have to keep an eye on that, see if maybe we're just misjudging from up here in the press box or the refs are going to start calling that. But it definitely looks like the right side of that line is getting a little bit of a jump.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed it too. So 4th and 6 coming up. McLean looking to throw. Tosses it towards the near sideline. Intended receiver was Dedrick Coleman. Incomplete. And that turnover on downs gives the ball to the Westside Warriors. We're going to get a look at River Eagle, Logan McPherson, the rest of the Westside Warriors, and see what they can do with 10:02 left to play here in the first quarter.
We talked about Logan McPherson. He's the guy that's been getting all the ink and all the highlights the last week after that 413-yard performance and 5 touchdowns last week. Let's keep an eye on him. Watch number 1. I think we'll see plenty of him tonight.
Ball spotted at the 43-yard line of the Warriors. McPherson takes the handoff, running to his left, pushes over a blocker. He's going to get about 5 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 5 coming up. And that's what McPherson is best at.
Yeah. Makes the first guy miss. That's why he gets so many yards. This kid right now has over 1,300 yards so far this season. And people might forget that he had, I think, a concussion in the first game of the year. He missed like the first game and a half, more or less. So he is statistically doing some amazing things. And then you consider he missed at least 1.5 games so far.
Now the Warriors from the 48-yard line. McPherson takes the handoff, running to his left again. He'll fall forward to the 50, and he'll be about 3 yards shy of that 1st down marker. So 3rd and 3 coming up.
And if folks are looking for an aired-out game, they're probably not going to see it tonight. This game is going to be won on the ground. Neither team passes a lot. Not a lot of offense through the air, but Westside, when they need to, they can do it. We have seen them do that this year.
Yeah, River Eagle has got a great arm. Few guys on this team have some pretty good hands as well. 3rd and short, back to McPherson. He'll fall forward. It looks like the ball came out at the end of that. McPherson was short. Referee is going to say that he is down.
The line judge is saying he was down before that ball came out. Wildcats didn't like that call. They were on top of that ball pretty quick, but the ref says take a look, see if when it pops out.
Yeah, it looked like it fell out right there as McPherson hit the ground. They did get it away from him, but again, he was down. 4th and 1 coming up now. Warriors like to milk down this play clock, sitting at about 12 as they break the huddle. Garner goes out, the lone wide receiver on the far side. It's McPherson, Hedger, and Ray, the 3 backs in the backfield. Look for Tyler Ray all day to take it up the middle here. Oh, back to McPherson. McPherson finding the sideline. He's going to pick up enough yards to move the chains for a 1st down, but Took a pretty hard hit there as they drove him out of bounds.
He got just enough on that. That short side of the field got tight pretty fast for McPherson. He ran out of room pretty quick. Credit to the Truman defense for only letting him get one in there, because like we talk about, this young man knows how to break tackles, and he has the speed. Once he hits open field, he can do some damage quickly.
So now 1st and 10 from the Truman 46-yard line. Garner again the lone wide receiver. Bit of an offset I formation. There's a handoff to Hedger. Hedger running to his right, spins off of one defender, makes his way down to about the 41-yard line. Nice pickup of about 4 yards. It's always good to know that you've got 2 backs in the backfield in addition to 1 stud in McPherson, but Hedger and Ray can carry the workload as well.
You talk about Ray. I mean, Ray had to fill a lot of gaps earlier this year when McPherson was hurt, and you got Ray going for over 700 yards on the ground this year. Between those 2 guys, you've got over 2,000 yards of rushing offense between McPherson and Ray. So when you've got 2 running backs that have put up 2,000 yards and the season's got 2 games left, this is a potent offense that can control the ball on the ground.
Here's all-day Tyler Ray taking the handoff. He'll push the pile forward, picking up about 3 yards. 3rd down coming up, but it is a 3rd and manageable. Looks like about 3rd and 3. They'll spot the ball down at the 38-yard line. Oh, you're going to say 3rd and 1. That looks like about the longest one I've ever seen. That's a long yard. Perhaps the longest yard, I dare say.
Good reference.
Under 7 left to play in the first quarter. Ray, Hedger, McPherson in the backfield behind Engel. They fake to Tyler Ray, hand off to McPherson. He fights through the pile. He'll fall forward and pick up enough yards to move the chain.
And that's what you see in this offense. Not only are these guys fast, but he's got power too. He's absorbing hits right at the line of scrimmage, and he still goes ahead for 6 more yards. That's the difference in this team this year than versus years past. They've got not just the talent, they've got drive. And man, this team could do some damage in the playoffs.
And when he runs up the middle like that, especially on that last play, it looks like somebody running through water.
Yeah.
He's just swatting people off of him left and right. 1st and 10 from the 32. Fake to McPherson. Here's Hedger running to the right side.
Guy like Hedger, got great ball control. He just grabs on that thing like a fullback, both hands, holds that thing like for dear life. You won't see him get fancy with that out. You won't see the Heisman pose out of this guy. He tucks that thing away, holds it with both hands. Good fundamentals, and he picks up several yards in the play.
Ball down to the 25-yard line. 2nd and 3 coming up now, under 6 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. A methodical drive by the Warriors, as we've seen all season, here to open up tonight on offense. Back to McPherson to his left. Got tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Looked like he might have tripped on one of his own linemen, and he will fall forward for a gain of about a yard. So 3rd and 2 now coming up.
You talked about them being methodical, and that's what this team is. Ball control. Run the ball, take clock, finish drives. And that's what they've been doing all year, and it's working for them. I mean, this team is 4-1 in conference play, 6-2 overall. They're doing very well. They ain't broke. Don't fix it.
Well, and they're giving their defense a little bit of a rest, too, after they forced a 3 and out. Or I guess actually it's a 4 and out with the turnover on downs.
6 or 7 and out with the penalties.
Back to McPherson, right up the middle. Makes his way down close to the 20. Oh, a little shove there at the end of that by one of the defensive backs from Truman away from the play. McPherson gets close to the 1st down marker, but not quite enough. 4th and short coming up after the run.
They aren't afraid to mix it up and just go right at these Truman Wildcats. They'll take it right up the gut every single time.
Well, this is the 3rd 4th down we've had on this drive.
Yep.
2nd 4th down by my count, actually. Converted one earlier. 4 seconds left on the play clock. They get the snap off. And it's a Tyler Ray, a big hit at the line of scrimmage, but he gets a push forward. Lost the football at the end of it, and the Wildcats are going to fall on top of it. What a break for Truman with Westside marching the way they were. Tyler Ray definitely had the yards.
He did. He had the first down, but Garen Smithson right there, the junior, 6'2", 220, comes in and jumps on that ball at the very end. you'll see that little bit of extra effort sometimes can cost a team because you're held up and you get so many guys pulling and tugging on you. Even the strongest guy is going to be able to have trouble holding on to the ball at that point. But a drive that was promising, moving the ball consistently, turnover.
And we have
right
seen
back to
that.
Truman.
We have seen that be an issue with Westside this year. Had some fumble turnovers. That time, Truman earned that one. It was a hard fought. Nice run to the left side that time by the Wildcats. That's going to be Ben Woodruff.
15-yard gain to the outside.
Oh, he had a lot of running room over there. Jared Garner chasing him down.
And Ben Woodruff, if the TV adds 10 pounds, it's still not very much for this young man. They got him in this roster at 155. So let's hope the TV adds 10 pounds to this fella because
need to get him some oatmeal out there.
Let's get a steak. There we go.
Nice little juke move at the line of scrimmage, trying to spin back. It gets past McPherson, and right there at the end of that, Garner trying to rip that football out of there. But a nice downhill run that time by Gavin Guy.
Well, that's the other thing where McPherson is such a factor on this team, where his speed is used there coming on the cornerback or free safety position sometimes. He can close in on a play like that. There, he almost overran it. He almost got there too fast and missed the tackle.
Good job by Guy shaking off McPherson. A great move at the line of scrimmage to get out into open space. Looked like the Wildcats got to jump early that time once again, but handoff goes up the middle. It looks like it's got enough yards to move the chains for another first down. So 2 first downs here on this drive after going 4 and out on their last drive. Clock stops at 3:20 while they reset the play. So again, we're going to have Dedrick Coleman come out here at the wide receiver position. 10 seconds left on the play clock. There's the snap. Handoff goes to the left with Milton Lewis, the third. He escapes down the far sideline. McPherson hawks him down from behind. Well, if McPherson is not your safety in that situation, then Lewis is gone.
Well, that's what we talked about. I mean, he's effective on both sides of the ball. He had a head of steam. He was gone, but watch him just break in here and watch McPherson catch up.
Wow.
And make the touchdown-saving tackle. That play went for 29 yards.
Got his hand on the football also at the end of that, trying to punch it out. But an excellent run by Lewis. And I don't know how he got out of that first initial tackle.
That was just a mess of the line. A lot of bodies, but nobody get a hand on him.
Back to the right with Guy. Guy gets slammed down by Tyler Ray. Looked like McPherson had a hold of his leg. Dropped at the 30. He'll pick up 2. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Truman running a lot of misdirection out of this offense and catching Westside on their heels a couple times. That's what's leading to these big plays. Right now, I mean, neither team's scoring, but at least impressively, highlight reel stuff. Truman looking very good, moving the ball in chunks.
Yeah, this is the 6th play of this drive coming up. Half of those have gone for first downs. Under 2 to play here in the first quarter. There's another run up the middle, and you hit it on in the middle. It looked like maybe the ball came out. A Warrior came out of the pile with the football.
They're calling it, yeah.
They called it Westside football. I saw the referee say fumble. So take a look at the end of this. There's the scrum. And right there it fell out. Warriors come out on top with the football.
Getting some boos from the Truman fans here, and I think I understand their argument. That play, you can make a case that maybe that whistle needed to come a little bit sooner. That play looked to be kind of stood up and done before that ball came out.
Yeah, stop the forward progress. Either way, it is Westside football. 1:46 left to play in the first. Ball on the 29-yard line. Handoff running to the right. McPherson down the far sideline. 2 guys left to beat past midfield. Cuts back at the numbers. Still on his feet down to the 30. What a run by Logan McPherson.
Wow, 41 yards in that play. And we saw not just the speed, but the power of McPherson on this one, because you can watch, he just gets away from tackle after tackle, and even here at the end, he's not afraid to lay a hit on a guy. And even after he absorbs that first one, he just still keeps moving those legs, keeps on going. Just like that, Westside's back in business.
He's running so fast, his nameplate is coming off the back of his jersey back here. They need to
that might be a cape.
Iron that back on. It looks a little bit like a cape, yeah.
He's their Superman, that's for sure.
$1:20 left to play here in the first quarter. Ball spotted now on the Truman 31-yard line. Far side hash marks. It's Ray, Hedger, and McPherson in the backfield. And a timeout called by the Westside Warriors. 1:04 left to play in the first quarter. We'll step aside with them. We're back at Warrior Stadium right after this on Tubetown.
More Air Conditioning presents Westside Warrior Football on Tubetown. Sponsored in part by Denver's Refrigeration, Max Garage, Ace Sports, and First National Bank.
Warriors, the Truman Wildcats, scoreless here in the first quarter. 1:04 left to play. It's Westside football, 1st and 10 from the Truman 31-yard line. The Warriors wanted to talk some things over, called their first time out of the first half, and I wonder they just didn't like the formation they had out on the field. Maybe somebody lined up in the wrong spot.
Well, last time they're in this situation, they got down there to the 20 and they gave up the fumble. We've seen a couple of those now in the game, but coach just wanted to make sure his guys are on the same page. Let's finish this drive, he's saying.
1st and 10 from the 31. There's the handoff to Tyler Ray. He falls forward just shy of the 25-yard line. They'll spot him at the 27. A pickup of 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. Now under a minute left to play.
Could go a couple plays back in that nice run by McPherson. That was the first time we've really seen them go outside the tackles. They've been content to keep the ball going right up the middle. They have an edge in speed. We've seen it in the stat sheets. We can see it with our own eyes. Let's see if they start taking advantage of that, maybe working it a little bit wider instead of going right up the middle every time.
I think the problem getting outside the tackles, you got to have a tackle fast enough to run with McPherson. Here they go between the tackles again. You got a guard pulling. You got to hope you got to hope your guard is fast enough to run with him.
Can't give him a head start either, you know. Those darn rules.
Was this Canadian football?
Yeah, arena football. Just keep guys in motion.
Ball now at the 25-yard line, 3rd and about 4 to go. But 5 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter. That will take us to the second. So we'll flip into the field, and when we come back, it'll be 3rd and 4 from the Truman 25-yard line. Still scoreless at Warrior Stadium, Westside and Truman in this conference matchup. Andy Maness, Greg Rickers back with you in a moment on Tubetown.
Okay, so finding a heat and air guy has never been easy. But then I got more, and it's a whole new level of customer service. First, they show up on time, and before they arrive, I get a text with a picture of my More technician, like Uber. And my More team never leaves a mess. They treat my home like it's theirs. Google MOHR. That 5-star rating, it's for real.
You deserve more, so visit us online or call us today to schedule an appointment.
Andy Maness and Craig Rickert back here with you at Warrior Stadium. Still scoreless as we get ready to start the second quarter between Truman and Westside. Taking a look field level at the Truman Wildcats there. It is Westside football, 3rd and 4. Ball spotted on the Truman 25-yard line. A steady dose of Logan McPherson through the first quarter. So this Westside offense could go back to him here on 3rd and manageable. I formation. McPherson to his left. A lot of running room down that far sideline. He's going to get to the house. Touchdown Westside. Touchdown Logan McPherson. 25 yards for the score.
Barely even touched on that play. And once he breaks that line, he's got the speed to finish. Take a look at this. Gets a good block up front. Got touched by one guy in the shin at the line of scrimmage, and that's not enough to stop Logan McPherson.
4 plays 61 yards. 71 yards. Sorry, bad math on my part.
25 on that final. He also had that 41-yard run, so he's still padding those stats.
And the extra point up and good. So 7 seconds off the clock here in the second quarter, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Westside Warriors over the Truman Wildcats. Andy Maness, Greg Rickert here with you at Westside Warrior Stadium.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
Back here at Warrior Stadium, Andy Maness, Craig Rickert. 11:53 left to play here in the second quarter. And the Westside Warriors scoring 7-0. A 25-yard run by Logan McPherson, capped off a 5-play, 71-yard drive. Took just a little over a minute 46 off the clock. We'll say 1:53. That kickoff will go out of bounds. Tried to kick it back on field there at the last second. Tried to get a little help from the Warriors sideline. I don't think that's legal, though.
Nope. Get the penalty for kicking out of bounds, so Truman will start with some pretty good field position to start this drive.
It'll come out at the 35-yard line. Not quite as good as the opening kickoff field position that they had. They had it at the Warrior 48.
That onside kick attempt.
And the Wildcats had a little bit of momentum going on their last drive before it stalled out via fumble. Marched pretty far down into Westside territory before they coughed it up. See if they can carry that momentum here on this drive. Here's a run to the left. Tailback looked like he got free past the initial hit at the line of scrimmage. Was able to fall forward for a gain of about 2, maybe 3. Ball's going to be spotted on the 36, so that'll actually just give him 1. So much misdirection from the Wildcats, it's hard to see who they hand it off to often.
They keep such a tight formation in the offense they run. And like I said, so many spins and fakes. Reminds me of the old single wing days.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's almost a wing tee, but the formation it looks tighter than a wing tee.
Yeah. Good play.
So I wasn't sure if that's how you should refer to it or not. So the Wildcats move the ball out past the 40-yard line. They'll move it out to about the 42. 3rd and 3 now coming up for Truman.
Connor McLean comes to the sidelines to get the call from Coach.
Already got the wide receiver lined up out here. He did not need to go to the huddle. We pointed that out earlier. He has not been in too many huddles so far tonight. There's a handoff running to the left. Nice juke move. And getting back to the line of scrimmage, I think getting the first down actually is Ben Woodruff.
Mm-hmm. You're going to hear Woodruff's name called a lot, and he's had some nice plays already in this game tonight. He's kind of one of the engines that gets this Wildcat offense going when it does get going. You take a look at their performance so far this year, not a winning record. Also, their defense has been problematic for them. And when you have a losing record, of course, that's kind of an obvious statement. But they're giving up pretty much 30 points a game so far this year. So there are some holes to fill in this Wildcat team.
Here's a pitch out to the right for Guy. Guy, now he's going to reverse direction, come back the other way. Got a nice block. Now down the near sideline, the 25, the 20, down to the 15. And what a run, but I got to say, I'm not quite sure what that flag's going to be for, because
if that flag
that was not a block in the back.
If that flag goes against Truman for that hit back here, that is a horrible, horrible call. Because number 72 for Westside got blindside blocked, and I think you can see the ref talking to the coach. I want to take a look at that play again if we have it, because that was as good a hit as you're going to see. He was not in a defensive position. His head was turned, but it was not a high hit.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy,
Well,
let's take a look. What's in that? A hard hit? Yes. Laid him out? Yes. But watch 72 and watch 42.
Well, that was not it wasn't really a blindside block.
No, it wasn't. Now, they might be calling, it looks like his shoulder pads might have got up there into his chin a little bit, but his arms were down. He did go helmet to helmet. I don't like that call. That's football.
Well, that results in a 1st and 26.
Instead of a 1st and 10 inside the 20. That's a game-changing penalty right there.
That's a huge shift in momentum, not in favor of the Wildcats. They're going to throw now, taking a shot down the field. Coleman going up for it. Couldn't find it. Just a bit too deep there for Coleman.
And the Truman fans here are wanting an interference call on that. And, that ball is pretty far thrown, but they might have a case. There's some pretty good bumping going on
Little
there.
arm bar.
I think the call on the floor is the one that they have every right to be upset about.
Yeah, now 2nd and 26. Whew. Man, oh, man.
Well, Jacob Haney had that hit there a couple plays ago. And
here's Lewis. Lewis back almost to the original line of scrimmage. Well, that just feels like it took all the wind right out of the sails of the Wildcats. Now with 9:30 left to play in the first half.
Well, not only are they trailing 7-0, but they're facing a team with a better record. They're facing, you'd have to say, a superior team. And they have to take advantage of every chance they get. And they had a huge play, and that call cost them big time.
Here's the throw on 3rd and 11, taking another shot for Coleman down the near sideline. Incomplete once again, so now 4th and 11 coming up. That's the first time we've seen the Wildcats come out with 2 wide receivers. And again, the Wildcat fans wanted a call.
Yeah, there was a bump there, but I don't think there was any interference action on that play.
And now the Wildcats will bring their special teams unit out on the field. They look to punt this one away. 9:11 left to play in the second quarter.
And Logan McPherson back to return. We know how dangerous he is. Let's see what happens here.
And McPherson standing at his own 29-yard line. High short kick. Bounce at the 35-yard line and fall dead at the 34. So now Westside gets a chance to add to their lead. Come out at their own 34. See how the Truman defense responds after their offense kind of had one stolen away from them.
They really did. And those coaches are telling those kids to shake it off, forget it. We still have a lot of football to play. But that's going to stick in the back of their throat for a while, that call.
McPherson right up the middle. Head down into the pile, pushed off one defender, and is able to move the ball down to about the 36-yard line.
We have to keep an eye on McPherson's nameplate, like I said, in the back of his jersey there. Let's just see as the game goes. Let's see how much of it continues to peel off.
He may be nameless by the end of this. I'm fairly sure that everybody in this arena tonight knows who he is. They know who number 1 is.
Of the game tonight is McPherson's jersey.
McPherson taking a run to the left.
Oh my goodness.
He's broken loose. He's gone. Logan McPherson.
62 yards on that play. His second touchdown of the night. He's already well over 100 yards in the evening.
Just the second play of that drive. And watch him. He lowered his head to get through the little gap he had to run through. And look at it, just trailing him like a cape.
Well, we talked about it. I mean, he even took a little hit there. He lost his balance at the line for a moment. But still, 62 yards later, his second score of the night.
Well, I called him out a few weeks ago on taking yoga classes. It seems his balance has improved a little bit. So I don't want to take all the credit. But
And I'm going to stay on my feet and run some more.
Truman going to jump early there, I believe, unless that's false start on Westside. So they'll back it up and re-kick. A 62-yard rush for Logan McPherson, his second of the night. Probably going to put him over 100.
Yeah, I've got him for right now. I've got him for first half. I'm keeping track of charting his big plays, and I've got him for just on the big play alone. I've got him for 41 at 25, and now the 62. So he's got at least 130, 140 yards, plus the little ones. He's well over 150 of them for the night. I think he's ranked 7th in the state overall in rushing after that huge performance last week where he went for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. And once again, he hasn't had as many snaps as a lot of guys because he had that concussion earlier in the year.
Yeah, it's incredible what he has done. And he has put the Westside Warriors up 13-0, and now with the extra point good, 14-0. 8:16 left to play in the first half. We're back with more from Warrior Stadium right after this.
Got up in his chin a little bit.
Taking a look at the Westside Warriors cheerleaders, all bundled up tonight, as is everyone here at Warrior Stadium. 8:16 left to play in the first half. 14-0 after Logan McPherson takes in a 62-yard scoot. This kickoff is down the far sideline, and it'll go out of bounds. So, second kickoff gone out of bounds here for the Warriors. Second time the Wildcats will start at their own 35.
I don't know if it's part of the plan or they have some great respect for Dedrick Coleman back there, but they aren't letting him run the ball. That onside kick and 2 out of bounds. Showing some respect to the senior.
You know, it's funny, we talk about how methodical Westside can be and how much time they take off the clock. And it's funny because they've got a guy who can score so quickly in McPherson. There are 2 drives that they have scored on, a total of 7 plays.
Well, that's their offense. I mean, they're not your typical quick strike offense in the fact they don't throw the ball a lot. You don't see them as being the flashy, but they have a great running game. They have great control of the line of scrimmage, and that can lead to those kind of plays, a 62-yard run, a 41-yard run, a 25-yard run for a touchdown.
They run by Gavin Guy on 1st and 10 for the, that's Woodruff back there. For the Wildcats, gets stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gains. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And then also, you have a team like Westside. They're getting great field position to start these drives too. That was the first or second play of that drive, a 62-yard run. They got the ball almost the 40-yard line to start that drive. So when you're not even getting behind the 8 ball to get started, you're almost going downhill to begin, and you got the weapons they have. They're going to finish drives.
Lane looking to throw. Steps up.
Oh,
nearly
boy.
Picked off, and that's Jared Garner who got his hands on that one. And Greg, I'll tell you, Garner had a chance to pick off maybe 5 or 6 passes last week.
Really?
You can add that one to the list as well.
Well, I think Garner might have been thinking about 6 because if he would have hauled that in, there was nobody there to stop him. He might have got a millisecond ahead of himself on that one. Plus, it's cold out here. Hands are cold. He doesn't have gloves on, I don't think, and so it might be hard to catch that pass, but, boy, he had a lot of green in front of him had he come up with it.
He has been very active in the secondary, especially go back to last week again. He had a chance to pick off quite a few. Couldn't haul one in. Play action again. McLean taken down in the backfield, sacked at the 30-yard line. And the Warriors will force a 4th and about 15.
Caleb Whitmire, the senior, in on that one, getting the nice sack to stall out this drive against those Wildcats.
So another opportunity for the Warriors to get some pretty good field position. They got a good spot the last time the Wildcats had to punt one away. Another high short kick. This one will go out of bounds about midfield. So right about a 25-yard punt there for Truman. That is not what Wildcat fans want to see.
Well, we talked about the field position. Not only is Truman not getting deep into these drives, they're setting up Westside each time with pretty good field position. This time they're starting right at midfield.
And the Warriors will get the football back first, start the second half. So they got a chance to potentially milk this 6:50 down. We've seen them do it before.
It all kind of depends on number one out there. We know they're going to run the ball. We know they're going to control the clock. But if he breaks a tackle, him or Ray breaks a tackle, things can happen fast.
Standing at his own 42, they'll hand it off to Ray this time. Ray pushed backwards. You don't see that happen very often. A good stop by the Wildcat defense there on 1st and 10. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 as Ray was able to pick up 1 yard. So now they'll start churning this clock away here in the second quarter with a 2-touchdown lead over their conference foes.
Coach has shown he's content all year just to take clock, control the ball, and enjoy a comfortable lead. They don't push for more. They don't try to run the score up. They have the weapons to score when they need to, but we've seen them in some, as Keith Jackson would say, some slobber knockers over the season. Think about that one a couple weeks ago at Brooklyn where it came to the final play of the game.
Man.
What a wild finish that was. Dogfight. Look how that one changed the conference.
Oh, absolutely. 3rd and 5 now coming up. Ball spotted on the 45-yard line. 5:40 left to play here in the second quarter. A lot of 40s in there. I got a little confused where I was going with that. Fake to McPherson. Here's Hedger taking a big hit in the backfield. Gets slammed down behind the line of scrimmage, and that's Noah Milligan coming in there with a big hit. Take a look at 34. Nobody touched the linebacker from Truman there. Hedger just taken down, yeah. So now a 4th and 7 coming up here for Westside. Special teams unit looks like they're coming out on the field, and
a lot of personnel change in this one.
Yeah, going to try to just punt this one away, and we know McPherson's got a pretty good leg, so got a chance to pin the Wildcats back pretty deep into their own territory.
Jacob Brown came in there, number 5, one of the up men, and said something to McPherson there at the very last second. But nothing but kick it.
Got a good kick down inside the 20-yard line. It looks like they might have gotten it down inside the 15. Let's see where they spot it. Right at the 15. So a 3 and out for the Warriors. Puts the ball at the 15 for the Wildcats. We'll see what they can do with 4:41 left to play in the second quarter.
And we talked about the field position battle going on here. This is the worst starting field position for either team so far in this game. We had the one play, Truman that one got called back. I think it's the worst field position for either team to start.
Wildcats come out. And you got to think they probably want this ball spotted on the near side hash marks instead of the far. Might try to see them run it to the left here.
Oh,
they're going to run a reverse and run it back to the right. Didn't work out for them too well, though. They're able to pick up maybe a yard on that. 2nd and long coming up.
Pretty close quarters to run that kind of play, and that's the kind of offense this is. That's what they're running with all those extra little handoffs and spins. You're going to see that, and when it works, it's an incredible thing.
And they've gotten a couple of pretty good jumps tonight from.
They've had some great plays
from their tailbacks. Trying to find one here though with 4 minutes and counting at the end of the second quarter. Here's a run to the left. It's past the 20-yard line, and that was Woodruff on the carry.
Garner with the tackle on that one, bringing them down after the nice game. 3rd and 3, it looks like. The last thing that Truman wants to do in this situation is to go 3 and out here, give the ball back to Westside with 3, maybe 2.5 minutes left in the half because we know how quickly they can score. And the punting we've seen so far out of Truman has not been impressive. So if they don't get the first down here.
Well, with 7 seconds left on the play clock, they're going to have to call a timeout here. And they do. They'll call a timeout with 3:15 left to play here in the second quarter. 14-0 is the score. Westside leading Truman. We're back with more from Warrior Stadium right after this.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
Nice little crescent moon here tonight. Is that the correct
You know,
term?
I was driving in, and I looked up, and I didn't know it was waxing, waning. It's been 30-some years since high school. So
It's there.
It's the
That's all I
moon.
know, yeah. It's not made
a
of
clear,
cheese.
cool night.
Very
Here at Craighead
crisp
County.
as well. 3rd and 2 as the Wildcats get ready to run. Hand it off right up the middle. A little delayed handoff. They're going to get the first down with 3:10 to play in the second quarter.
That was a big first down for Truman to get that right now because what we talked about, they didn't get that. They were going to have to punt and give the ball back to Westside with more than enough time for Logan McPherson to get on the board one more time. So now they can probably just milk some clock, try to make some plays with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, and if you give it back to
Westside
Westside
has
this
2
late,
timeouts left.
if you give it back to Westside this late, it's essentially back-to-back possessions for the Warriors. Little screen pass out to Dedrick Coleman. Coleman able to do some damage on that 1st and 10 throw. 2nd and 1 coming up.
We've seen a lot more passing out of Truman these last couple drives. That's the first one they've completed. But aren't Coach Craig Green not afraid to mix things up a little bit at this point in the game?
Well, and they gave Dedrick Coleman about a 5 to 8 yard cushion on that last play, and I think that's why it worked out so well for him. 2nd and 1, under 3 left to play in the second quarter. Play action, looking to throw again, out to Coleman. Coleman bobbled it as he went out of bounds. Still wound up making the catch, but it's about 5 yards out of bounds when he completed it.
He had a good little move, quick little button hook, as you used to call it, about 10 yards down the field, turn and hit him right in the numbers, but he just couldn't come up with it.
Watch McClain, he almost rolled out right into the defensive end, though.
Hit him right where he should have.
Now 3rd and 1 coming up. Clock stopped at 2:49. There's a handoff right up the middle. Had to get down to
I
the
don't think he got
40, and I don't know if he got it either.
Well,
They're going to spot him at the 40.
well, that seems kind of generous.
Well, they're going to move the chains. So 1st and 10 coming up for the Wildcats with 2:40 left to play in the second quarter. Ball spotted on the 40-yard line. Second, 3rd down conversion. The Wildcats have converted there. Another pitch out to Coleman here on the near sideline. He's driven out of bounds. He's gang tackled by the Warriors.
Truman doing a good job keeping possession of this ball. And
I was going to say, the clock should have stopped,
Yeah,
but
I was
it was
gonna-
continuing to roll there.
they took about another 10, 12 seconds.
We've got a little score update here for you. Pocahontas currently leading Gosnell right now, 14-6 in the second quarter. So definitely going to be keeping our eyes on that game. Handoff to Lewis. Lewis ran right into one of his own men, makes his way out to the 45-yard line. Well, if he hadn't got tripped up behind the line there, he would have had a pretty big run.
It's still a pretty good little play, but, man, he had a chance for a lot more. Take a look at this. Instead, he ran into one of his own guys, but nice little sidestep to pick up a few yards in that one.
So now 3rd and 5 coming up. About a minute 45 left. There's the pitch. Woodruff somehow hauled that in.
Boy, they got lucky.
Yeah, it did. They pushed. The pile gets pushed backwards.
Woodruff was very lucky to come up with that one.
Oh, he got away with a little bit of an elbow there right in front of the referee as well. He was lucky to hang on to that.
Saw the bobble.
Now 4th and 5 coming up. Looks like 4th and 4, actually. Woodruff goes in motion, takes the pitch, trying to find the corner. He's got it.
Yep.
Did he get to the first down marker? Looks
right
like
there.
he did. Well, that'll stop the clock with 1:05 left to play. Good job by Woodruff splitting the defenders that time.
Give credit to Truman on this drive. They're doing a great job, not just moving the ball, but keeping it out of the hands of Westside. Because Westside, there was a scenario setting up on those 4th down plays where Westside could have got the ball back with timeouts and time on the clock.
McLean going deep here on 1st and 10. Could not find his intended receiver, Dedrick Coleman. 55 seconds left to play in the quarter.
Coleman coming up a little bit sore on that one. Took a little shot there at the end of the play. Nothing dirty at all. Just got knocked out of bounds and just a little bit slow.
Play clock winding down now from 20. They'll come out with 2 wide receivers here. They'll have two timeouts left to work with here in the half. McLean looking to throw. Fires over the middle. Too tall and off the fingertips of Dylan Russell. 3rd down coming up with 50 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Well, see, you got to wonder now what could happen in this last 50 seconds. They've gone to this passing offense now the last few plays, which incomplete passes have stopped the clock. So now, where they had a chance to run this clock out if they wanted to, now they are trying to be aggressive, make something happen, but it's also setting up a situation where Westside could get the ball back with a couple timeouts. Logan McPherson.
Here's a run from Woodruff. Woodruff cuts up field, makes his way close to the 45-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th down, but you got to think Truman should go for it here. At the end of the quarter, you got the timeouts.
Well, Westside's not calling a timeout. If that was part of a coach's plan to get the ball back and get aggressive with it, you would have called timeout 12 seconds ago.
4th and 6. McLean looking to throw. Taking another shot downfield and too deep. So now with 17 seconds left to play in the quarter, Westside will come back out on offense, and we'll see if they want to try to use their 2 timeouts or if they just want to take a knee. They do have the 2 touchdown lead.
Well, I would assume they're just going to take the knee because they had a chance, when you said the 2 timeouts, they could have had this ball back with about 50 seconds left. And they chose not to stop the clock, so we'll see what happens here if they just go victory formation or they try to do something with it. I'd be surprised.
Well, they're in the I formation, so they're going to run a play here.
Fumble.
McPherson lost the football. Westside fell on top of it. Oh, that is not what you wanted to have happen with 10 seconds left. The clock continues to run. And that should do it. Yep, 2 teams will head to the locker room with the Warriors leading Truman 14-0. Ground game all the way for both teams. Andy Manis, Craig Rickert going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about this first half of football with you, see if we can keep an eye on our scores around the area. Back with more here on Tubetown.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
When we talk about You First Banking, what we're really saying is that we're going to take the banking experience and customize it to meet your needs. Maybe you're that person that's always on the go and you don't have time to come to the bank. We'd love to see you, but we can make it possible with our mobile apps to where you don't ever have to set foot in any of our banks. But maybe you're that person that does like coming to see your favorite teller and you like that face-to-face interaction. We've got 20 locations across the state with a friendly staff that's here for you. Only at First National Bank. You first. Always.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Okay, so finding a heat and air guy has never been easy. But then I got more, and it's a whole new level of customer service. First, they show up on time, and before they arrive, I get a text with a picture of my More technician, like Uber. And my More team never leaves a mess. They treat my home like it's theirs. Google MOHR. That 5-star rating, it's for real.
You deserve more, so visit us online or call us today to schedule an appointment.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
When we talk about You First Banking, what we're really saying is that we're going to take the banking experience and customize it to meet your needs. Maybe you're that person that's always on the go and you don't have time to come to the bank. We'd love to see you, but we can make it possible with our mobile apps to where you don't ever have to set foot in any of our banks. But maybe you're that person that does like coming to see your favorite teller and you like that face-to-face interaction. We've got 20 locations across the state with a friendly staff that's here for you. Only at First National Bank. You first. Always.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Welcome back to Warrior Stadium. Halftime, 14-0 is the score. Westside leading Truman. Andy Maness and Craig Rickert here with you. First 2 quarters in the books, and it's been all Westside. They've been keeping it on the ground, and Logan McPherson has been doing his thing. Well over 150 yards rushing. We don't have an official total here, but he's got 2 touchdown rushes of 62 and 25, plus a handful of other big runs in between.
He busted one off for 40 yards in there as well, so just between those 3 runs, that's a night right there. You've got 130 yards, plus he's been picking up his usual clip, 8 to 10 yards a rush. In the season, he's averaging 10 yards a carry, and he's keeping those stats well and good tonight. But we talked about this game, 14-0, despite the stats by McPherson. This game is closer than you think. I mean, we've had Truman has threatened a couple times. They've had some nice drives. They've resulted in giving the ball back on downs. We've seen some turnovers, both sides of the ball. So this game is far from out of hand, and the way nobody is really completely dominating this game, even though the score is 14-0 Westside. Truman, they just get a couple things to go their way. Maybe one call in the first half really changed the pace of this game.
Yeah, going back to that block in the back or targeting, I think was the official call out there by the referees. Yeah, that call that went in Westside's favor really took the momentum away from Truman, and we really haven't seen them have Uncle Mo back on their side ever since then. So,
well, if you weren't with us in the first half, Truman has been moving the ball tonight. They had nice chunks of yardage at times, and they had a run of 45 to 50 yards, got down inside the Wildcat, inside the Westside 20, but the play was called back on what they called a targeting or too high of a hit back in the backfield to wipe out that run. Up here in the booth, looked completely clean to us. It was a hard hit. It was really a well-placed block on the defender for Westside, but the refs saw it differently. We could slow it down, take a look. We could see that it got a little bit high maybe, but from our point of view, it looked like just football.
Yeah, and since then, the Wildcats have really struggled. Moved the football at a pretty good pace there at the end of the quarter on that last drive, but ultimately just couldn't cap it off.
Last couple drives, you've seen them throw the ball a few more times. They made a couple completions, a couple overthrows in there, but they have changed the playbook up a little bit and have thrown the ball, and they are getting some things done. On the other side, Westside been completely content to keep the ball on the ground. I don't think they've had one pass tonight.
I don't think they have either. So definitely keeping it on the ground. McPherson again doing his thing. The Warriors out to a 14-0 lead. Looking at some scores around the area, we have told you we're going to keep an eye on one game in particular, and that game is the Pocahontas-Gosnell game. It is 24-21 at half. 24-12 at half. Pocahontas with the lead over the Gosnell Pirates, and that is absolutely huge for the Westside Warriors.
Oh, you know they're finding out about that on the Westside sideline because that completely changes the complexion heading into next week when Gosnell comes here to take on Westside. The 4A Region 3 will be on the line next week regardless, but if Gosnell gets beat tonight at Pocahontas, and if Westside can hold on here and win the second half and win the game, they both go into that game 5-1 next week.
Opens the door for a chance to Westside to get an outright conference championship. That would be a big deal here.
Well, coming into this game, that's right. It'd be huge. And the big thing coming into this game for Westside, regardless of what happens with Gosnell, is if they win one of these last two games, as we talked about here a little while ago, the top two teams in the league get to host a first-round game, with first place getting a bye week. So if they can get the win here tonight, hold on and get the win, and set up that big match next week versus Gosnell, the winner of that game will have that first round bye.
We're definitely going to keep an eye on that game. We'll try to pass along scores as we get them to you. Again, 14-0 is the score here. Westside leading Truman by 2 touchdowns. Still got about 4.5 minutes left in our halftime break, so we're going to step aside to get ready for the third quarter. It'll be Westside football when we come back here on Tubetown.
Okay, so finding a heat and air guy has never been easy. But then I got more, and it's a whole new level of customer service. First, they show up on time, and before they arrive, I get a text with a picture of my More technician, like Uber. And my More team never leaves a mess. They treat my home like it's theirs. Google MOHR. That 5-star rating, it's for real.
You deserve more, so visit us online or call us today to schedule an appointment.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
When we talk about You First Banking, what we're really saying is that we're going to take the banking experience and customize it to meet your needs. Maybe you're that person that's always on the go and you don't have time to come to the bank. We'd love to see you, but we can make it possible with our mobile apps to where you don't ever have to set foot in any of our banks. But maybe you're that person that does like coming to see your favorite teller and you like that face-to-face interaction. We've got 20 locations across the state with a friendly staff that's here for you. Only at First National Bank. You first. Always.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I have been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Andy Maness and Craig Rickert back here with you at Warrior Stadium, taking a look at the Westside Warriors down at our field level cam. They've got a 14-0 lead over the Truman Wildcats with the first 2 quarters in the books. And good news for the Warriors, they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
What will they do with it? I'm going to bet run the ball. It's the only thing we've seen out of their offense tonight, but it works. They haven't thrown the ball one time, but they have a 14-0 lead. They're getting short fields also. They're getting good field possession to start these drives, and they're capitalizing. I don't think they've only punted one time, but they have had at least 1 turnover in there. But they have scored a couple times, and we'll see what these guys have for us in the second half. Expect much more out of Logan McPherson. Of course, you got Tyler Ray in there, always getting his stats as well. We talked about him a little bit in the first half. He's having a great season, too. He's got over 700 yards of rushing this year himself.
So I was going to say, I will be surprised if he doesn't get close to that 1,000-yard marker by the end of the season. We usually see him a little bit later in the game, or once McPherson is kind of resting his legs a little bit. But we certainly see a steady dose of both Ray and Hedger peppered in throughout the course of the evening.
Well, I haven't seen the stats statewide, but I can't imagine there's too many teams in whatever classification in the state of Arkansas that have a tailback duo that has combined for over 2,000 yards.
That one fielded like a ground ball by McPherson. Lowers his shoulder, makes his way down to the 45-yard line. And I was waiting on a flag to come flying out there because it looked like 3 or 4 Wildcats kind of took a few steps forward before they got ready to kick. I don't think they were all on the same page there.
Timing might have been a little bit off on that one. 21-yard return from McPherson on that play. Once again, we talk about the field position. Here they are, starting near midfield once again.
Yeah, ball spotted at the 46-yard line of Westside on the near side hash marks. McPherson comes out with Hedger and Ray in front of him. No wide receivers. Engel under center. They fake the handoff to Ray, and here's McPherson. Bounces off one defender, makes his way down to the 45-yard line.
He bounced off his own guy. That was Brady Johnson, I think, number 20 right there. Kind of ran into his own player. Slowed him up a little bit, but still a nice gain on the play, setting up a 2nd and 2.
We talk about this Westside offense. They have outscored opponents over the last 3 games. It's been an 8-quarter span, 91-17 over the last 8 quarters. This has been some great football being played by the Warriors here in the last stretch of the season.
And that's when you want your team to peak, especially when you have a game coming up next week like you do against Gosnell with everything on the line.
McPherson gets the handoff on 2nd and short. They'll move the chains. 1st and 10. Now into Truman territory. Ball will be spotted at the 41-yard line. Oh, you're absolutely right. You want to have your losses and hiccups at the beginning of the season, work out all of the problems, and find yourself rolling at the end. And that's exactly what we're seeing here out of this Westside Warrior football team as they set up 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. It's McPherson in the backfield again with Hedger and Ray ahead of it. 11 guys in the box, but they go right back to McPherson. He lowers his shoulder, makes his way close to the 35-yard line. Looks like maybe they'll spot him at about the 37.
Once again, we talk about McPherson and his stat line. We've highlighted the big plays he's had, but right here, every play has gone to him on this drive. So tack on another, what's he got? And they're 15, 20 yards so far on this drive.
Yeah, the drive started on their own 46, so you're right, already just adding on to it here. 2nd and 7. Haven't seen a wide receiver on this drive either, so they're keeping it power I formation. Back to McPherson, running to his right. Got a stiff arm at the 35. He'll work the ball down to the 30-yard line. It looks like it's going to be just inches shy of that 1st down marker. So a 3rd and short 1 coming up.
And the thing about McPherson, he hits that line so hard. He's such a quick start. He's out of the block so well. he's running into his own offensive lineman at times. He's hitting that burst so quick.
Well, and when he hits his own lineman, he's already at full speed. You're right.
And he's knocking them forward.
He is full speed out of the backfield. It's incredible how fast he accelerates from 0 to 60. There you see it here on 3rd and short, weaving his way through traffic at the 20-yard line, gets brought down from behind. Got to be close to a horse collar tackle, but what else can you do when McPherson's blowing by you like that? Stopped at the 15-yard line. Watch the way he just follows his blocker there and is able to weave out to the 15. And good tackle there by Milton Lewis III. It was a touchdown-saving tackle.
Any tackle of McPherson is a good tackle.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Anytime you can bring him down. From the 15. There's a handoff to all-day Tyler Ray. He rumbled forward for maybe a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up.
And that's the first play on this drive where McPherson didn't carry the ball. Trying to keep him honest right there.
Well, we see Westside go to play action every now and again to try to catch the defense jumping forward, expecting a run from McPherson. Might see it here. Dylan Russell breaks out of the huddle as the wide receiver. Now Truman has somebody come over and cover him. There's a run with McPherson. Bounces off one defender. He's at the 5. He's into the end zone. His 3rd touchdown of the night. Logan McPherson from 14 yards out.
14-yard run right there. That drive went for 52, and he had 51 of those 52 yards on that play. His 3rd touchdown of the night. And once again, he's probably close to 200 yards tonight.
He makes it 20-0. Extra point pending with 8:31 to play in the 3rd quarter. McPherson on to hold. Truman bringing pressure. They'll kick it through the upright. 21-0. Westside now leading Truman. 8:31 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Andy Maness and Craig Rickert back with you here at Westside Warrior Stadium after this.
Okay, so finding a heat and air guy has never been easy. But then I got more, and it's a whole new level of customer service. First, they show up on time, and before they arrive, I get a text with a picture of my More technician, like Uber. And my More team never leaves a mess. They treat my home like it's theirs. Google MOHR. That 5-star rating, it's for real.
You deserve more, so visit us online or call us today to schedule an appointment.
Andy Maness, Craig Rickert back here with you at Warrior Stadium. 21-0 is now the score. Westside punching it in. Not really punching it in, more like just running it in with Logan McPherson. 14 yards out, and he is doing work tonight.
He is. He's the workhorse in that drive for sure. We talked about that drive covering 53, 54 yards. He had all but one of the yards. Tyler Ray had one carry in there that picked up a yard. The rest was all...
Oh, that ball hit a Wildcat. It definitely went the 10 yards. It looked like Truman fell on top of it. Well, Westside had a chance just to run underneath that one.
That was almost like a punt. It was just high, and they got up underneath it. And it seemed like the Truman players were confused over who had what. But they came up with it.
Wildcats catching a break there, and they needed one at this point.
That's right. Last thing I'm going to do is give them another quick chance to score. Jax Williams, Johnny on the spot, getting that recovery right there to save his team from what would have been disaster.
No, but you were doing the math, and it seems like we've got McPherson just in big runs alone close to 200 yards.
Yeah, I'm loosely keeping track of the big plays. Got in for over 180 just on touchdowns and runs of 20 or more.
Here's Gavin Guy on 1st and 10, moving the ball out past the 45-yard line. He'll get down to about the 48, and that should be enough to move the chains, judging by the spot out on the field. And still waiting.
I got to measure it.
And wow, they're going to bring the chains out for this, it looks like.
Yeah, he's McPherson is now most definitely over 1,500 yards so far for the season.
So they are bringing the chains out. A couple of unruly Wildcat fans down here, it sounds like. It looks from like up here, about half the length of the football. It's going to be a first down.
Well, I'll trust your eyes over mine at this point.
I hope I'm close.
Let's watch the slack.
I hope I'm close. I've already opened my big mouth now.
Got it.
Oh, so that was like a whole length of the football.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. Clock is stopped at 8:22 while they reset the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 47. So that's a good way for Truman to start things out here on their first offensive possession of the second half. A nice little gain by Gavin Guy, moving the chains.
They've been getting first downs. They've been able to get these drives going. They just have not, as you can see by the scoreboard, have not finished a drive yet. But they have been able to move the ball. Penalties, miscues, that's what's hurting this team tonight. And when you're taking on a team like Westside, you can't do that.
Run right up the middle, bouncing to the outside now. And brought down from behind is Noah Milligan. Milligan looked like he got stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
I thought he was
here.
done. I was trying to follow the action, but he just got into that pile. Nobody could get their hands on him.
And just bounced right outside. Dylan Russell there to bring him in.
Picked up 8 or 9 on the play, setting up a second and short for the Wildcats.
Yeah, into Westside territory now. Ball spotted at the Warrior 45-yard line. It's 2 big runs on first down there, back-to-back for Truman. Again, you go back to their final drive of that first half, they had a lot of momentum working. They had about a 13-play drive going before they just ran out of time and had to change up their game plan. Here's Woodruff bouncing to the outside now after cutting up the middle. And finally they blow the whistle. Woodruff is, once again, not too worried about anybody in his way when he's getting up out of that pile.
Playing with a little bit of attitude. Got a chip on his shoulder, and that's just fine.
So now, 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. By the way, that stat we gave you earlier, 31-17. Westside has outscored their opponents over the last 8 quarters. Make it now 38-17. Nice cuts up
Nice
the middle.
moves. Quick feet.
Gavin Guy. Yeah, 98-17. That's an incredible. That's an incredible not only effort by your offense, but also one by your defense.
Oh, your defense is doing great when you're having a scoring gap like that, and those stats even more impressive now as they're pitching a shutout so far.
2nd and 4 after that run by Guy. Here's a run by Milton Lewis. Lewis spins, makes his way down to the 30-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down marker, but only by about half a yard. So 3rd and short coming up now for the Wildcats.
They have shown they can move the ball. This 3rd and 1 seems like it'd be right in their wheelhouse tonight.
So Dedrick Coleman will go out and line up as the wide receiver out at the 30-yard line. Break the huddle. Going to hand it off to Milligan. Milligan rumbles forward. He makes his way down to the 25. He's got the first down and more. We saw him do that earlier on this drive. Take a hit and just keep on running.
He's not pretty, but he can run. He's a tough, big, tough kid. Takes more than one person to bring him down.
Truman said we've got our own 34 that can run the football up the gut.
Not afraid to do it either.
1st and 10 now from the 25-yard line. The Wildcats have had 3 first down runs on this drive. Still haven't seen them go to the air, which we talked about seeing them do a little bit there at the end of the second quarter. Now under 5:30 left to play here in the 3rd. There's a handoff running to the left. It's Lewis. Makes a cut. He's at the 25. Now the 20. He's brought down by his shoulder pads. Good tackle in open field. Lewis close to finding the corner over here. Picked up about 5 yards there on first down.
Yeah, he initially wanted to make that a little bit tighter, but he bounced it to the outside and found a few more yards and got his team in the best field position they've had so far tonight.
Coleman breaks out. The lone wide out once again, covered by, this time, Kessler Engel. 10 guys in the box for Westside. There's Milligan throwing a block for the tailback, and Gavin Guy will pick up a first down. He gets down inside the 15-yard line, and it is now 1st and 10. I think the ball is going to be spotted at the 14. 4th first down by the Wildcats on this drive.
Just consistent movement of the ball.
Yeah, they took over possession with about 8:25
They're taking some clock
to play here in this quarter, and this has been a long drive for them. A run right up the middle, and once again, it is Milligan, and Milligan has just been moving the pile with him on this drive. Another big run for Noah Milligan, the 3rd one on this drive, and now the Wildcats inside the 10-yard line.
Big, tough kid every time. He's taking hits, he's absorbing them, and keeps the legs moving, and gets his team a little closer every time he touches the ball.
2nd and 2 now. Guy takes the handoff, and he's stopped. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, driven backwards. Good pressure that time by the Warriors. So now 3rd and short coming up from the 6. Coleman will again head out as the lone wideout. Truman fans trying to get behind their team here.
It's the best chance they've had all night to put some points on the board. It's 4-down territory as far as they're concerned.
Oh, no, and had 2 players move at the same time. Milton Lewis and Gavin Guy both took off from their respective corners, and they'll have to back it up 5 yards, and it will be a 3rd and 8 now.
That changes everything on that play. And I'm curious, what play was that going to be when both ends pop back into the backfield like that?
Well, I think it might have been a case of they both thought they were supposed to go, and it was only supposed to be one of them.
A double miscue.
That's kind of what it looked like.
That's what I'm thinking.
One of them was right, and the other one was wrong.
It's 5 yards no matter how you slice it.
Yep. So now the ball is spotted at the 12. It looked like when they both peeled off and saw one another, they both went, well, dang.
Oh, I was supposed to.
Now here's a great cut by Lewis, and there's a big hit at the end of that run. And I think that was Caleb Whitmire laying the lumber on that one. He got up pretty excited. Take a look here. Watch for big 71 at the end of this play. Yep, 71 got in there for sure. It was Tyler Ray and Jared Garner, the 2 who initially held the tailback up. Milton Lewis going nowhere on that 3rd down run. Now 4th and 8
and they're going to go
up.
for it. They don't have to score. They can still get a 1st and goal.
Got to get it down inside the 5 to move the chains. Blaine takes the snap. No, he's going to keep it himself. Looked like he pitched it out, actually. I thought he kept it himself, but I guess he did pitch it out. See who comes out of this pile with the football for the Wildcats, and it was Gavin Guy. And he could not pick up enough yards to move the chains, so it'll now be 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Take a look here at the replay. There's the pitch out. It was Gavin Guy. Gavin Guy had to get inside the 5. He got to the 6.
Ugh.
That is a tough place for this drive to stall out here for Truman. As that was, let's see how many plays they had. 2, 4, 6, 8. That was the 12th play of that drive. Longest drive of the night for them.
Longest drive of the night for them. A lot of plays, took up a lot of yards and a lot of clock, but what they needed was points, down 21-0.
McPherson on 1st and 10 gets a little bit of breathing room here for the Warriors. Moves it outside the 10-yard line. Ball spotted at about the 13. Picked up about 7 on that 1st down run. Yeah, that drive by the Wildcats took 6 minutes off of the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
And no points
and
to show
no
for
points. Kind of see some of the body language from the Wildcats down here on this sideline, too.
Shoulders are slumped after that. I mean, anything can happen in a high school football game or any level. You can see things happening, but the way this game has been going, the way this game would have to really fall perfectly, things would have to work out really perfectly for Truman tonight, for them to be in this ball game with a chance to win it at the end. And opportunities like that, had to go their way for them to be in this ball game at the end. Still a lot of football to be played, but that was their best chance tonight, and they got no points for it.
That run by Tyler Ray moves the ball to the 15-yard line now, 3rd and 1 coming up. About $1:15 left to play in the third. So time for just a couple more plays here in this quarter. If Westside can convert here. There's the handoff to McPherson. Makes a cut. Is brought down shy of the 20-yard line, but able to move the chains. Tyler Ray having some words, it looked like, with one of the...
Well, yeah, it was him and I think Jax Williams were getting into it there at the end of that play. Williams getting the better of him on there, threw him to the ground, a little wrestling move, you might say, but that's one of those things where you'd say just point at the scoreboard.
Yeah, that 3rd down run picks up enough yards to move the chains. 1st and 10 now from the 18-yard line. Under 40 seconds left to play now in the third quarter. Probably the last play of the third. McPherson now running to his left. Cutting to the outside at the 30. Flag comes out way at the end of that.
The flag came in from the man with the white hat way back behind that play.
A couple of them came flying in there. McPherson picked up enough yards to once again move the chains. Clock is stopped with 29 seconds as McPherson was driven out of bounds. Obviously, the referee's discussing this right now.
Could we have some offsetting penalties here?
Yeah, so one came out from the head official and one came out from the back judge, it looked like. So, yep, offsetting penalties. So we'll just replay this down like it never happened. Now, I don't know what these referees are discussing out here.
I thought about a 12 or 13-yard run.
Oh, well, maybe not offsetting.
Well, he pointed both ways.
He did. Okay, and now he's. So are they doing the penalty yardage as if both penalties were assessed?
That's what they did. He walked it back one way, then came back the other.
I've never seen that before, ever.
I don't know what just happened. I don't think the severity or yardage of the penalty does not matter.
I didn't think it mattered
it's
either.
Offsetting. If it's a holding and a personal foul, it's offsetting penalties, right?
Interesting.
I'm just saying, just an example. A 10, or a 5 and a 15, it's still offsetting.
I'm in agreement with you. It doesn't matter. Okay, well.
Well, the next game my ref will be my first. I'll tell you that right now. But as watching football for 49 years, I don't think I've seen that before.
I haven't seen it either. Score update from Pocahontas and Gosnell. The Redskins leading the Pirates 31-12 now. So that is huge here in Jonesboro for the Warriors. Here's all-day Tyler Ray lowering his shoulder, getting down close to the 40-yard line. He'll be stopped. They'll spot him at about the 37. And that should take us to the end of the third quarter with 15 seconds and counting. It'll be a 2nd and about 4 coming up. So a 21-0 lead for the Westside Warriors over the Truman Wildcats with a home playoff spot potentially on the line coming up next week. Obviously, we still have 1 quarter of football left to go before we start discussing that. But Pocahontas leading Gosnell, Westside leading Truman. Andy Manis and Craig Rickert back with the 4th quarter here in Jonesboro right after this.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
Taking a look at the Truman Wildcats. They trail the Westside Warriors 21-0 as we welcome you back to Warrior Stadium. Andy Manis and Craig Rickert getting a good look at the Wildcats down there via our field level cam, a new addition here on Tubetown, and we're glad to bring it to you.
Chase Weeks down there running that steady cam.
Doing a great job down there for us, getting us some good looks at the on-field action. It is 2nd and 3 out on the field. Westside football. They've got it on their own 39-yard line. And this has been a much more possessive half than we had in the first half. We bounced back and forth a couple of times back in that first half, but so far here in the second half, each team, Westside this is only their second possession. Truman has only had it once.
Right, Westside got the ball first to start the second half. They scored on that drive. And the previous drive you just saw by Truman was their first. Took a lot of time off that clock, so here we are starting the fourth quarter. Westside in control.
McPherson starting things off with a run on 2nd and short. He'll get near the first down marker. We'll see where they want to spot it at. It looked like he crossed the 40-yard line. First down marker's at the 42. Ball spotted at the 42, but not quite enough. Looks like he's trying to decide. Oh, not quite enough. 3rd and short. Well, he was eyeballing it awfully closely, trying to figure out if it was a first or not.
Getting a little paddle they give you at the eye doctor. Left side,
Left
right
eye,
side.
right eye.
Which one works?
3rd and short coming up from the 42. There's the hand to Tyler Rays, hitting the backfield, but keeps his feet moving out to the 45. All day, Tyler Ray moving the chains.
The whole pile went for a ride right there.
And that is what he is best at. Short yardage situation, you really won't find a better compliment to your star tailback than Tyler Ray.
How many Truman Wildcats are in there? That pile just started moving downhill for Westside and just kept on going.
But now only 2 backs in the backfield. It's Ray and McPherson. Hedger out here at the tight end position on the near side. They'll hand off to McPherson. McPherson weaves back inside to the 50. Crosses midfield, brought down at the Truman 48-yard line. Clock continuing to roll. 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. I think Westside is content to just try to eat as much game clock as they can here. Maybe score one more time just to put the nail in the coffin.
Well, that's part of the plan for sure. And this drive started inside the 10-yard line. So this will be, in a couple plays, this will be their longest drive of the night because they've had pretty short fields every time they've had the ball.
Yeah, this drive started at their own 6. They've moved it out past midfield. Here's McPherson scooting. Oh, hopefully he's all right. Yeah, got brought down awkwardly there. Hopefully he just pops right up. But the Wildcat who tackled him is still down on the field right now. Looks like he's working out a cramp right now. That's the
universal sign.
Yeah, obviously you never want to speculate, but that is that's we've been there before.
Yeah. Almost every morning when I get up.
Yeah, see, he just immediately starts reaching for it, so hopefully going to stretch that out, which is what they are trying to do right now. So helping him up. Get him some sodium over here on the near sideline, and he will be hopefully all right in just a few minutes.
Junior Garen Smithson coming off, trying to work that cramp out.
Yeah, it's not fun. Been there playing basketball before, and it's not a fun feeling in your calf muscle. 1st and 10 after that run by McPherson. 3rd first down of this drive. 9th play coming up. Under 9:45 to play in this quarter. 2 backs, Ray and McPherson. McPherson gets the pitch, running to the right. Stiff arms. Oh, gets flipped over at the end of that run. Back-to-back runs, he's been brought down pretty awkwardly.
Great penetration by the Wildcat defense in that one to stretch that play out. McPherson kept looking for a chance to cut it upfield, and he did not have it. Every person on assignment giving McPherson nowhere to go.
One of the few times tonight the Westside offensive has been stopped for little or no gain.
Negative on that one. That's one of the first plays
Yeah,
that
I
they've
think
lost yardage.
it probably is the
Might
first
be the
one.
very first play.
2nd and 11, they've got it spotted. Back to the power I. Hand it off to Tyler Ray. Ray able to move it down close to the 35. It looks like they'll spot him at the 36, so a pickup of about 5 yards there. Third and 6 coming up. Under 9 minutes left to play now. Play clock.
You talked about the pace here. They're just content to take as much off that play clock every time as they can. It's a cold night. They have a 3-touchdown lead.
Yeah, and that's what Westside likes to do. Obviously, we've talked about them controlling the pace of the game. We've seen them do it all season long, but now they're to the point where they break the huddle with about 15 seconds left on the play clock as McPherson makes his way down to the 35-yard line. He is stopped, and it'll be a 4th and short coming up for Westside. We'll see what they want to do with it here. Do they want to punt it away or try to convert on 4th and 2? I say you just try to convert here. I mean, you got a 3-touchdown lead, 8 minutes left in the ball game, and you've got 3 backs who are pretty capable of picking up 2 yards.
And honestly, Truman has not shown a great chance to score tonight. And any chance they've had for a big play, the speed advantage goes to Westside. You got to go for it. Keep control of the ball.
4th and 2 from the 35. McPherson takes the handoff, hits the hole with a full head of steam, makes his way down to the 30-yard line, picks up enough yards for another first down.
And from the what are you wearing tonight, who are you wearing tonight, we were talking about McPherson's name coming off his jersey. If you haven't noticed, it's completely gone now. We wondered how long it would last. I think at halftime they decided to not patch it up. They went varsity blues, says don't take the needle, and they ripped it off. We're going without it in the second half.
I think by this point they're pretty well acquainted with who number 1 is.
They know who number 1 is.
They've seen the back of his jersey quite enough tonight
Yes,
to know.
exactly. They've seen the back of his cleats, back of his jersey.
They might see it again here on 1st and 10. He makes his way out to the 25-yard line and picks up another 5 yards on 1st and 10, so 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, he's well over 200 yards in the night so far. Like, I'm sort of not tracking all his stats, but just in the big runs we've seen, he was over 180, 185, and then you see that right there. These last few, he gets 5, he gets 6, he loses 1, he gets 7.
Well, again, this drive is started on the 6-yard
Right.
line, and McPherson has carried the majority of
Yeah,
it, so I would
think
assume
Ray's
he's
got a
getting close
couple-
to 3.
Yeah, he's getting close to 300 yards for the night for sure.
He'll take the handoff on 2nd and 5. Trying to bounce to the outside. Gets brought down by Noah Milligan. Just shy of the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd and what looks to be about 3 coming up.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see the stat line tomorrow. See how many yards he ended up with.
This is the 15th play of this drive coming up.
Yeah, and this drive has gone for, 70 yards already. He's probably had 60 of it, at least.
And it has officially lasted for over half a quarter now.
Wow.
3rd and short. McPherson takes the handoff to the outside, spin, and he was one broken tackle away.
I thought he was going to bounce that outside. It looked like there was a
lot of running room
on
out
the
there.
outside, but he cut it back on the inside.
Yeah, one broken tackle away from breaking that one off for his 4th touchdown of the night. And he should have enough yards to move the sticks for a 1st and 10 inside the 20. Trying to wait and see what the call is. Oh, there might have been a flag down. Yeah, there was a flag. Face mask on Truman. So this one is going to be moved down inside the 20. It's going to be moved inside the 15.
Last thing Truman needed was a call going against him like that. So with just under 6 minutes to go in this game, this one's pretty much decided.
Westside took over this drive at their own 6 with 2:25 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Wow.
So they've almost had it for an entire quarter at this point. First and goal from the 10. 16th play of the drive coming up. Pitch to McPherson, running to his left. Stutter step. He's at the 5, running over a defender. Did he get in? Oh, he lost the football. He lost the football at the 1, and Truman recovers.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to see this again.
Logan McPherson, was he trying to stretch out for the goal line and had it stripped at the end? Just lost it before he hit the ground.
Did he spun away.
Another look at the
Where's the ball
replay
come
here.
out?
Looked like right there he didn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But right before the spin, he had already lost it.
Yep.
So now it will be, oh, you hate to see that.
Oh, my goodness. So
a 16-play drive.
A 16-play, 98-yard drive or something? No, 93-yard drive?
No points.
No points.
And now Truman, trying to find some breathing room from their own goal line, will run it right up the middle.
Well, you don't see that very often.
No, not at
I
all.
don't know if I can ever recall a drive that covered 90-plus yards and doesn't end up in points.
We talked briefly about Westside's fumble woes throughout the season, and
Well,
thankfully
they
haven't reared their head too much tonight. But man, the one time it does, it's at a really awful place to do so, right at the goal line.
Well, it's not going to change the outcome of this game one way or the other. It just pride is hurt, especially when you're a player like McPherson, who's a yard away from his 4th touchdown of the night, which would have been his 9th in the last 2 games.
There was a big hit.
Just a lot of personal pride losing the ball right there.
Big hit there by Jared Garner as first down yardage is picked up by Gavin Guy. Yeah, and again, you think McPherson's that close to the goal line, and that's, that's what he's thinking about is trying to stretch out and get it and just get stripped right there, and that's rough. That's rough.
Well,
but like you
that,
said, not going to change the outcome of the
No.
game, it does not appear.
Well, young runners will do that often. You'll see that. They do that little twist or spin. Wow.
Nearly
they almost
picked
got
off.
it back there.
Yeah, Jacob Brown nearly picking that one off.
But you'll see that in high school athletes. They're trying to get that extra yardage. They try to put that spin on. They try to maybe not take that one last hit. But it's when you see that twist, that spin, they kind of put their back into people. It's when they expose themselves to losing the ball. We see it a lot in high school football. And that's partly what led to that fumble there by McPherson. Jacob Brown, knowing he had 6 points on that one.
Yeah, that one was right off the
That was-
fingertips.
oh.
So close. Very hard run that time by Gavin Guy.
I'll tell you, these teams are still playing hard. They are still hitting. There's still some wood being laid out there. I'll tell you, these guys are not going to ease up here in these last 4 minutes of this football game.
Truman now facing a 3rd and about 7 coming up. 3rd and 8. Under 4 minutes now left to play in the game. Here's a run to the left by Milton Lewis. Lewis picked up and driven backwards. 4th down coming up. But it'll be 4th and short for the Wildcats.
Well, this second half has flown by.
It has, absolutely. There's Guy on the handoff. And on 4th down, he will move the chains. 1st and 10 now. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line. 3:15 left to play. So a score update from the Gosnell-Pocahontas game. Pocahontas coming away with the victory tonight with 15 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter, but 31-18. The score there. Pocahontas going to defeat Gosnell, giving them their first loss of the year, first conference loss of the year.
That sets it up for next week. The big showdown right here at
The big
Westside. Both
showdown.
teams coming in at 5-1.
Well, Warrior Stadium going to be loud and packed next week for sure. 2nd and 11 back here for the Wildcats with 2:30 to play in this one. Shotgun formation. First time we've seen this from the Wildcats. McLean going downfield. Got a man
nice.
at the 35-yard line. And Lewis doing a good job staying inbounds for a few extra steps to pick up a few extra yards.
Nice rollout, nice play.
And a good catch by Lewis. So now 1st and 10 from the 42. Clock continues to roll at 2:10. Looking to throw. Incomplete. Trying to find Lewis once again here. Had him open at the 50, but threw it too far outside.
Yeah, too far behind him. Had to reach back, got one hand on it, but couldn't bring it in.
Already 11 plays into this drive for Truman. They're kind of moving the ball at a nice little clip here at the end of this one.
A lot of things to build on for this Truman team tonight. Coming in here on the road against a very good Westside team. They've been able to move the ball. They've played some good defense. And the fact that they were able to stop that last drive on the 1, get the ball back. Now they've taken a nice drive, moving the ball. There are positives for this team to talk about heading into next week's season finale for them.
Trying to find Dedrick Coleman out there on the far side. Just threw it a little bit too low, did McLean. So now 3rd and 10 coming up. Clock stops with 2:03 to play. The pitch and driven backwards. Good stop by the Warrior defense.
Setting a 4th, very long for this Truman team.
Clock continuing to run with 1:45 left to play. So Gosnell loses tonight, taking their first conference loss of the year. Craig, you said it sets up a championship matchup next week.
With a first-round playoff bye on the line. So a lot riding on next week's game. Both teams are now in the playoffs, no doubt about that. But and beyond home field advantage, it's who gets to have that extra week off.
McLean taking a shot downfield, incomplete on 4th down. That gives it back to the Westside Warriors with 1:20 left to play in the ball game and time to see the victory formation if you are a Westside Warrior fan. You'll be glad to see that. Truman does still have 3 timeouts, but hopefully will not be calling them as they trail by 3 scores. Yeah, not really too much point in that. I know you can't take them with you, but not really a point in using them right now either.
No, it really isn't much any point to that. At some point, reality has to sink in and say that scoring 3 times in 80 seconds, not really in the cards.
Well, Westside looks like they're going to run a play here just to get the clock started. All day, Tyler Ray taking the handoff. We'll run it across the 40-yard line. And the clock continues to roll. Coach Green going to keep those timeouts in his pocket. 2nd and 6 coming up. Probably just got to run one more play to get the game over with here.
That'll do it after one more.
So Logan McPherson, once again, another standout night for the senior tailback for Westside. Well over 200 yards in rushing. Got to be near that 300-yard mark on the night for him, and 3 touchdowns to his credit as well.
You had to wonder what would he be like after that game he had last week. 5 touchdowns, 400 yards. Another huge night for him. 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards, maybe close to 300. We'll see the final stats tomorrow, of course, but another great night for McPherson, for Ray, for this talented team. River Engel from Westside getting yet another conference win and setting up the big showdown next week here taking on Gosnell.
The Westside Warriors will move to a record of 7-2 on the 2019 season. They are now 5-1 in conference play. As Craig said, the big showdown coming up next week with all the marbles on the line and home playoff position, plus the first week bye.
Yeah, both teams right now, I think, without seeing the conference standings in front of me, right now they are tied for first in the conference, Gosnell and Westside, after tonight's action, both at 5-1. So both teams, first two teams in the conference, get to have home games in the playoffs. The full-on first-place, outright first-place team gets that crucial first-round bye, moving them to the second round, and more importantly, giving them that extra week to heal, to practice, to take a look at who they're going to play. They get to scout.
So next weekend, it's all going down here in Jonesboro at Warrior Stadium. Gosnell and Westside in the season finale, and we will, of course, be here to cover it for you and with you.
Looking forward to that one next week. It'll be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. Big thanks to all of our camera crew who made tonight's game possible. Of course, our field-level crew as well down there. Well, got some acrobatics out on the field here from the Warriors. Didn't expect to see that. That was kind of cool. But again, thanks to all of our camera crew. Thanks to all of our guys down in the truck. Everybody bearing the cold with us here tonight. Again, 21-0, the final score, Westside over Truman. Back here next weekend, 7 o'clock on Friday, Gosnell and Westside going at it for the 4A3 conference title. Craig, any final thoughts?
Just looking forward to that game next week. You and I will be back here for that one. I'm just excited to see Gosnell up close. Haven't seen them for a couple of years, and they've had some distractions off the field at that school this week. So you got to wonder, how did that play into their loss tonight?
Well, it will be interesting to pay attention to throughout this upcoming week. Again, 21-0 the final. Westside over Truman. Back here with you at Warrior Stadium next Friday night for more Warrior football here on Tubetown. For Craig Rickard, I'm Andy Maness saying so long. We'll see you back next Friday, Westside and Gosnell here on Tubetown.
More Air Conditioning presents Westside Warrior Football on Tubetown. Sponsored in part by Denver's Refrigeration, Max Garage, Ace Sports, and First National Bank.